Hey guys, this is Namkraft here. What's going on? Welcome to this is the Starcraft English commentary. Let's continue with EST Tournament 2026 Season 1 Finals. We will have Rush versus Action. So far, Rush is leading 1-0. And next match on the map, match point, Action is quite good against Protoss possibly, but Rush is showing to be the stronger player here. This map has seen a lot of crazy shenanigans. We have seen proxy barracks, we've seen barracks inside of the main base, we've seen base trades, we've seen command center lifting. Very nostalgic, but this time around looks like Rush at the bottom left is going standard, coming up with a supply depot and a barracks wall in. Okay, nice wall in. That signals to me that there's going to be a factory incoming, just to make sure that the Zerlings or the drones cannot get in. And I think that is an airtight choke as well, airtight wall, so he won't have to worry about anything. Once again, Action completely in the dark at this early stage. He doesn't have any information about what's happening. But I think nowadays in 2026, the Zerg players have figured out that even if you go for 12 hatch, you can do certain things to make sure that you are not completely surprised when you see the hidden barracks. So for example, we've seen Overlord scouting pattern changing, drone scouting pattern changing, and we saw in the previous game with Soma that you can try to get some drone blocking here on this ramp just outside of your expansion. There's the refinery. So factory opening is incoming here. Factory opening very popular by Flash, but of course other players also do it. Flash just do massive Goliath factory use, but other players, they use it as a springboard to go from barracks to factory and then to starport and to other things. Anyways, what do I want to tell you today? We've seen a lot of stuff, but maybe let me just quickly review to you the ASL situation actually, because ASL is starting tomorrow. I will be casting the first open day one of ASL, season open or open season or something like that. So go ahead and tune in to Namkraft TV for those games. So here are the ASL points after the last season, and of course Rush is a very strong contender all the time, right? 8,400 points, very strong. In EST, this tournament, as you know from the previous cast I've mentioned already, that Snow and Soma both have ridiculous high results this season so far. And Rush is on this list, but as you can see, he is actually not very highly ranked. So a successful tournament. I mean, I really like this cutthroat format. Of course, I cannot cast all of the games because there are just so many games. I mean, in one day they play 32 players together. That is an insane amount. I mean, that is almost like that European tournament. What is that called? BSL, right? I never saw any of those games. So what is this SCV doing? Getting sniped, not good. Not good by Rush, and that will allow Action to have a slight advantage. Alright, factory, and we will have a vulture. But Action decided to stay back here because he's thinking there could be some factory drop here. But there's no factory drop, as you can see the Overlord checking at the top right. There is no factory drop. It is a very standard opening. Rush, Action, of course, is trying to be very safe with the sunken, which he should be, because keep in mind, he's the one who is down a set here. He's 0-1 against Rush. So if Rush is able to do some quick, cheap, tactics, then Rush will be in a problematic situation. Looks like the Spire comes out of expansion. That Spire location is not ideal, especially on match point where later tanks can shell from the low ground. But at this stage, it serves a purpose, and that is to block any kind of run by here. There's gonna be a hatchery. Is gonna say evolution chamber, but no, it's gonna be a third hatchery. And behind this looks like Action is not pressuring the Rush, and Rush is not pressuring Action either, but now Rush has got the second vulture and he's spinning his add-on. So I believe that is going to be for vulture with speed. Now the question is, when he get 2 vultures or when he get 3 vultures, he will start to go. I guess 3 vultures is more likely, because that is usually the time that vulture speed kicks in anyways. Okay, I wonder about this starport. I'm quite sure it is going to be for Valkyries. It's very unlikely that it's for anything else. Let me open up my encyclopedia to check about Valkyries, because I don't have these stats with me. So Valkyrie is a unit from the Terran Confederacy. It costs 250 minerals, 125 gas, build time 31.5 seconds. And there's the Vulture. As you can see, Zerglings are blocking with the Overlord, but at the last minute, one Vulture gets inside. One Vulture only. But even one Vulture is too devastating. You can, I guess you cannot one-shot the drones. You need to actually do 2 shots. As you can see, Rush is trying very hard, and he will start to get a few drones here. But good pullback from Action. Action is not losing anything at all. He might lose one, and now the Vultures will be hiding behind. This is the perfect spot to hide. You can just hide here for a long time, and the Mutants finally have arrived with good attack. So that is going to be the end of this. Look at this, 2 HP on that drone. Very close. Action 32 to 34 supply, Rush 38. We are almost at the 6-minute mark of the game. And Mutualist Harassment is on the menu. Action will need to do some sick damages, because otherwise it looks like Rush is the one who's slightly ahead here. But Mutualists arrive before the turrets become operational. The second SCVs is ready to come out to keep on building it, but he did not have to go on with the building. Looks like this Valkyrie is taking a couple of hits. That's a lot of mutas, man. 6 mutas versus 1 Valkyrie. So that Valkyrie is slightly disadvantaged for the time being, but once we have 2 Valkyries, it will be a different story. And Action is coming to this north side. I wonder what exactly can be accomplished by Action to be here at this location. This location is completely meaningless to me, but he just flew over there. Because you cannot fly in the main, right? You want to be in a position where that allows you for backdoor entrance into Russia's main. And you want the enemy to see that so that he doesn't move out, I don't know, with Vultures or something like that. But there's going to be Vultures moving out. That massive Zerling. This Vulture though is going to get attacked here. Massive Zerling is trying to go for frontal attack and overwhelm the enemy because there's only 1 bunker. Only 1 bunker. The Vulture is going to get some action. It's playing very smart. He's having some crazy ass decision making, and there's got to be some Zerlings. Zerlings are coming through. We have some SCV blocking. The Mutants need to dive in. The Mutants are waiting for something else. And Action is pushed back. Keep in mind that Action is still on 2 bases. He is not on 3, and his mutualists, no matter how numerous they may be, are very useless once we have a critical number of Valkyries. For the time being, there's going to be Hydrogen and Egyptian Chamber, and Action once again is stuck inside of his main base. He needs to go for some harassment. He's going to try to do that. He go and dive in on a turret. He will get at least 1 turret. Oh, maybe not. He's trying to get it, and he does get it, and he backs up a little bit here. Yeah, I think Action. Okay, Action is still decided to go for the attack. And this attack will actually get some Marine. Yes, great explosion on the Marine. And SCVs will come up, forced to come to the line. I think, was it worth it? I think he lost something like 8 Zerlings, but he killed 3 Marines. And now the Zerlings have to back up. I mean, you have to use it for something, because once the Marine get medic, I mean, they're like gods, they become invincible. This Vulture cannot do anything at all. He can try to get in, but oh, maybe can actually get 1 drone kill. I'm not so sure. No, 0 drone kill. 55 supply for Rush, Action 52. And once again, Action still on 2 bases. Of course, he's got 3 hatcheries. Production is not that much of an issue, but he needs that 3rd gas, and he possibly needs more minerals as well. All right, that is massive Scourges coming across the map. I think Action is going to abuse this map's feature and try to dive into the main and force the Valkyries to get attacked by the Scourges around the midpoint. I think this is the plan, but look at it. There's no midpoint because there's just way too many turrets. There are turrets everywhere. Alright, look at this Vulture, very smart. Vulture wants to deny any quick expansion to the 12 o'clock position. And for the time being now, Rush is able to contain the enemy. So if things are going well, we will have ourselves not a so bad final. Rush versus Soma. Of course, we all want Snow versus sort of Soma, right? And maybe Snow versus Light. I guess Snow versus Light would not be possible. They would on a different brackets, I believe. Wait, that means that's possible. Maybe they're on the same bracket. But what I mean is, you want a lot of big names, but Rush is not a bad player and made the best player win. So if Rush has played well today, he deserves a seat, a ticket, a spot, a slot in the final. Nice scan by Action to reveal the stage of the tech tree for Action. Alright, looks like factories with the add-on spinning, so we're going to be having some tanks soon. Rush moving out 3 Valkyries, and that is a signal for the mutants to go in. No, what are you doing? Attack! Why are you chickling out? Just go for the attack. Looks like the Zerling is able to spot this Pyro Ball moving across the map. 3rd base coming down for Action at the 5 o'clock position, but can he hold it? That is going to be the question. 3 Valks versus a bunch of Mutas and Scourges. And Lurkers are going to get made. This map the third base has got a large double opening. It's very, very tricky for the Zerg player to hold here. He needs to just hold with massive force. He cannot hold with sim cities. Anyways, Marines are spotting these scourges and they may decide to attack into the 5 o'clock position. Inside of Russia's main base, he's keeping the rest of the forces back, but I think it's going to be the moment for you to start to move out. As you can see, just move out, and when you see a lot of forces, move back and double up your forces and move out again, this time possibly with science vessels. And if you see too much forces, move back. I feel like TVZ is a lot like PVT, where you don't necessarily want to throw away all of your forces. Just have enough presence on the map so that the enemy feels the rapes of wrath. The wrath of rapes. The grapes of wrath. And they have to eat the grapes of wrath. Anyways, vultures. I mean, how many vultures does Rush find? He's found so many vultures. And now that vulture has been taken care of, but this bio push with +1 weapons on the Marines are quite scary. But keep in mind, there are no science vessels with the group here. He's got to try to scan. It's very, very customary to scan that high ground, but looks like Rush is bypassing it, and he's gonna go out directly onto this expansion. Keep in mind that that Spire will be, will be able to take some hits, and that, I mean, that Spire will fall, but we shall see. Looks like the lurkers are unburrowing and moving for a counter attack here, but the drones have to get sent away. This is a feature of match point. Yeah, the Spire will take a couple of hits, and the problem with losing the Spire is that you lose the ability to make scourges. And so I said, you don't want to be building your Spire there. Of course, it helps you in the early game to block stuff, but in this late game, as you can see, losing the 300 meters and 300 gas is very, very problematic. The tanks have unsieged. What is the plan? I guess he would just move a little bit closer and scanned. That is a signal for those lurkers to leave. Once they burrow, I think the Marine will go on the high ground. What is the plan? Drones are getting transferred towards a new base, which is fine. Okay, we have the attempt by Action to keep Rush at bay here. So Rush is trying to destroy Action's expansion. We have some Marines attacking against the bottom right. These units have been completely unspotted, and those drones would die very, very fast. But looks like Action dive in for the attack here. Marines are arriving at the third base, though these drones have been just transferred, and Action's attack has been paused momentarily. He's forced to evacuate every single drone line. I think that is a symbol, that is a sign, that is a harbinger for the loss that is coming. Action is going to try to snipe the Marine here. Marines are trying to go to work on the hatchery. He's with a hatchery. The hatchery gets saved. Wow, hatchery is still alive, but this hatchery is gone. But Action is able to take some gas with it, and looks like the army moves on to the high ground. The lurkers need to engage. They decided not to attack. They will attack now, coming from both sides. The Hydras are trying to go to work. The surround from the back is okay, but it's very, very difficult to micro those lurkers. That is going to be GG. We shall see Rush versus Soma in the final. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this custom, if you buy me coffee, the link to that is going to be in the video description, and you will join these gentlemen here, Mr. David, King of Blades, Mr. Sea Goblin, Mr. Chen, Mr. Sullivan, as well as Mr. Bobby Fisher. Thanks. See you soon. Bye-bye.